Boris is hiring more diversity hires because he's a Conservative, and I thought we'd start this off with Conservative Chris Rose here making a point. So he's got a golden statue of a, what is that, cow with NHS written into it.
Yeah, it's the golden calf.
Yeah. Morning, everyone. On this glorious day, I thank the Lord for allowing me another day to protect the NHS. Oh, where would I be without this magnificent purpose in my life?
I can't wait until Moses comes down and freaks out about this.
It's a great point by him, though, which is that in the UK, we treat our healthcare system as God at this point. And if we go to the next one, what do we do?
None of us would be alive if it wasn't for the sacred NHS.
Yes, who spend their days doing things like this now. Instead of treating people, they have the blog, Dear White People in the UK. We went over this
Did they
last time.
remove this blog?
No, it's still up.
I was looking for it this morning. I couldn't find it.
No, I believe it's still up.
Well, it might be worth double checking.
If not, I'm sure there'll be another one soon, so don't worry
But
about
the
that.
people who wrote it should have been fired. That's the point.
Speaking of the people who wrote it, so we go to the next one. We spoke about this as well. The diversity and inclusion heads that the NHS is advertising for, about £75,000 a pop for each one of them. There's, 200 and something trusts in the UK, so if you put this
Hang on
across...
a second. What's this head of equality, diversity and inclusion salary? Is that 47,000 to 53,000 a year?
That's one of them.
Good God.
But then there's the one below it, 61 to 70 grand, and then the one below it is about the same as well. But there were a whole list of these, and there are about 200 trusts about in the UK.
Up to 75k a year.
You're probably looking at about 16 million just on salaries of the heads of each one of these trusts.
Abolish every single one of these positions.
But we couldn't cut that, could we, Boris? Instead of raising taxes? No,
Unbelievable.
of course we couldn't. So if we go to the next one here. There's a moron MP who went on Times Radio and defended this position by refusing to admit that maybe the Conservative government shouldn't be funding leftism with taxpayers' money. Let's play the first clip.
Is this money going to the front line? Is it right that the NHS, during all the crisis that you've been talking about, has a job going at the moment for the head of diversity, equality and inclusion with a salary of up to £71,000 a year? The starting salary for a nurse on the front line is £24,000. There is a job in the NHS at the moment going for 71 grand, head of diversity, equality and inclusion. Is that a good use of money?
Well, I don't set clearly the individual salaries that...
I know, but do you think it's a good use of money?
Roles like that. So I don't think, I should be drawn on one specific position like that. I'd say what I am concerned is when I see and I get sort of briefings on exceptionally high levels of pay, for instance, which I see of chief executives are being paid an unusually high level. And I think the NHS does really need to set out its arguments for when it is paying higher than expected levels of pay. There has to be a really good reason. But I also recognise you do clearly need to pay people the appropriate amount for roles that involve a lot of responsibility.
Pathetic response, addresses nothing.
So 0 for diversity and inclusion, since you wouldn't give an answer on that, because that's what I think the appropriate amount for those positions is.
Yeah, I love
and you're not more than that. You're the fucking government. You're the ones who decide how much money the NHS gets. So tell them how much they'll pay. God damn it.
But also the fact that she's like, well, if it's a chief executive, I have criticisms of salaries, but otherwise I'm not going to comment on salaries. Like, these people are heads of the department.
Yeah.
Like, they're not nobodies, and they're getting paid tons. And the best part of this is Spike.com actually looked into this. 50% of the medical staff are white. 86% of the country is white. So these heads of diversity and inclusion, they've ever done their jobs. Literally don't need diversity is the solution if you're using leftist logic of diversity quotas.
If you want representation.
If you're using the Conservative Party's logic, I guess. Anyway, so we go to the next one. This got worse. So this is Guido Fawkes reporting the NHS's enormous executive salaries. Those ones she would only ever comment on. Wouldn't comment on the ones previously. I'm sure she's dying to comment now about how this is a waste of money. Yep. The site explains how the new executives will help lead, quote, new partnerships between the organisations that meet health and care needs across the area and plan a way that improves population health and reduces inequalities between different groups.
Why do I care about that at all?
You're going to pay for it. That's what you're going to
do.
42 positions of these managers getting paid up to £270,000. I love it.
Abolish the NHS.
Let's go to the next one, just to prove that this is real if it's still up. So these are all the roles on the NHS website for this sort of thing. You can go look yourself and give them a read in your own time or apply.
Up to 200 grand for a chief executive of the ICS's Integrated Care Board, Humber Coast and Vale.
Yeah, amazing. So I estimated just for these positions that they say that all of these positions were going to be made if the bill passes to fund the NHS by taxing people.
Oh, that's where my money's going.
Yeah, and the bill has now passed, so the NHS were literally like, yeah, we're just going to piss your money up the wall if this bill passes. And the government was like, we'll vote for that. Go for that. This is £9 million just on these salaries alone being pissed off the wall.
I hate it.
It's ridiculous. If we go to an example job, so if we go to the next one here, just some of the descriptions in here. The description includes your job is to be politically astute and an exceptional communicator. This will be demonstrated through a track record of building trusted partnerships which have driven practical community-led change.
I should have applied to that. If it requires literally no medical training whatsoever.
You have to be a politically astute person who has trusted a leftist.
So
this is what it is.
Yeah, it's a
like,
political position.
So to be a leftist activist all your life, fantastic. You will have a great personal integrity and expect this of others. Be politically correct. You will actively champion diversity, inclusion, and equality of opportunity for all. Great. Fantastic.
Communism. Right, gotcha.
They do have equality of opportunity for all, which is fantastic, rather than equality of outcome for all. But then, of course, they're also complaining about health inequalities. So
Yeah.
whatever words need to be said, I guess. We are passionate about creating an inclusive workspace that promotes the values of diversity. This is what you're applying for. There's another 9 million.
I don't understand why the Conservatives haven't banned all of this stuff.
And the NHS said before they voted for this bill, this is what we're going to spend it on. We're literally going to piss up on the wall on salaries for diversity hires.
Right, this is actually annoying me.
Yeah, it's really bloody annoying, the fact that we're going to pay for it as well. So if we go to the next one here, I think I was mentioning about 9 million is what this is all going to cost. Fantastic. We go to the next one, we have Boris the Pillock, and this really annoyed me. So this is him tweeting, our mission is to tackle the NHS COVID backlogs and fix social care at the same time.
Why? That's Labour's mission. Why?
Well, you do have to fix the backlogs. Social care.
Well,
if
there
it's
wouldn't
broken.
have been backlogs if you hadn't locked down the entire country.
Yeah, that's what this levy will do. The tax. This is the right, reasonable, and responsible course of action. is to
Disagree.
tax people instead of just making some cuts.
Breaking your manifesto pledges and imposing the Labour manifesto on us. Right.
Yeah, there's all that, but the main point for me is like, look, there are cuts you can make. We can point to them. We have their names. We know what they're doing with their lives, which is writing "Dear White People of the UK" from the NHS. These are just administrators. If you want to get rid of the backlog, you fire them, being paid 270,000 or 75,000 or whatever the hell else, and you hire some doctors and nurses who cost far less.
Yes.
Far, far less than these people.
Yes.
I think what was it? I mentioned a nurse is on like 40 grand or something.
Oh, no,
the guy
24
said.
grand.
Oh, geez, 24
For
grand.
nurse.
Yeah, I mean, how many could you hire just with firing one of those 270,000?
Literally
pound jobs?
dozens.
Yeah. So that's how you deal with the backlog. And no, he doesn't want to do that. The thing is, Jim Hacker was smart in this from Yes Minister. So this is a meme I made just to demonstrate the point as clear as possible for any Conservative MP watching this video. Let's play this clip.
I would dream of having a Conservative Party that was like that.
Yeah, and this is the meme.
Just-
Like, for people who don't know who are foreigners, Yes Minister is a political
Satire.
of British politics. And Jim Hacker's always played off as like this middling, midwit moron
Yeah.
minister. And even he's smarter than Boris at this point.
Yeah. I mean, God, imagine, like, he's also meant to be, like, broadly spineless. And imagine a Conservative with that much spine taking it to the NHS.
And realpolitik do that.
Yeah.
And then when they turn around and be like, we're going to go on strike, this industry will die without diversity. Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Enjoy. I don't care. What are you going to do? Anyway, so let's go on to the argument he made about COVID-19. So this is just a graph just to dispel that myth. So if we can scroll down on this graph here, you can see NHS funding, and as you can see, always increasing because it always bloody does.
It's a black hole.
Yeah, and then you have the core funding, so that's the major funding, and then the COVID-19 funding. So the idea that they didn't have money or they need money because of COVID, they already got it.
It's an even bigger black hole than it was before.
Yeah, they threw in, what was that, 63 billion in 2020, 22 billion in 2021 so far, just to make sure that they have the funding they need for that, which is reasonable. You've got to fund it for a
Yeah, but
pandemic,
how
let's say.
sustainable does anyone think this is?
But
I mean,
that's
look at it just continually going up. And it will, and you can look at the longer graph as well that goes back into the 70s, and it just continually goes up. And it's like, okay, how long can this go on for?
With inflation and whatnot, I don't know what the statistics are, but it is a black hole, as you say. And the fact that he's like, oh, well, we need money now because they haven't had money because of the pandemic. They have tons, like unbelievable amounts of increase in funding. So,
but you can see it in calculated adjusted terms. There are graphs out there that I have seen in calculated adjusted terms, and it is just continually going like that.
Anyway, let's move on. So, what's the leftist response to all of this? Jeremy Corbyn, tax the rich.
Oh, well, what a surprise that Jeremy Corbyn would say that.
Yeah, let's go to the next one. Jeremy
Pretty
Corbyn
sure they do pay taxes.
is rich, by the way.
Oh, yeah, good
£3
point.
million.
But no, we're talking about billionaires, Callum.
Not millionaires.
Yeah.
Although he is kind of right. I do hate that they decided to tax payroll tax instead of going for something that would, be proportional to the people who used it or something like that.
Sure.
Right? Which, whatever. Anyway, so we move on from this. So the NHS promoting more gender ideology that I found. So fantastic. When someone is born, a healthcare professional lists them as male or female, depending on what their genitals look like. This is known as someone's assigned sex at birth. The NHS here just
I like
parroting.
the use of language here. So the assigned, as if the doctor has delivered it to them. No, the doctor is merely reporting what reality appears to have been actually been.
But I mean,
It's not assigned.
yeah.
Yeah.
They've also changed it to assigned sex instead of assigned gender, as John correctly points
Yeah.
out. So, how someone feels about themselves, whether it's male, female, or a mix of both or neither, is known as gender identity.
That's right. That part that you literally don't need to give a damn about at all.
This is what we're paying for, lads. Let's go to the next one. So if we have more from this catalogue of nonsense. So we have the NHS talking about non-binary, agender, fluid gender, because the NHS is literally Tumblr at this point.
It actually is.
It gets more Tumblr, if you don't believe me. Let's go to the next one for the pronouns. Different pronouns. They have he, him, she, her, they, them, the English ones. And then they have the alien ones. Z, them, z, z.
Calling them the alien ones is actually great because literally ZZM is what I'd expect the xenomorphs to identify as.
Yeah, I mean, it's literally spelled with Z's and X's.
Yeah.
We don't use those letters in English very
Literally,
often.
don't call her the alien queen. Now she's the alien king. Pronouns ZZM.
Let's
God damn it. It's
keep
just
going
so
with this crap.
stupid.
I don't know how to get through to anyone watching this. Like, this isn't a small deal. I know people are like, oh, it's a 1% tax. No, it is this straw that broke the camel's back.
Well, it's not-
It's unbelievable.
And it's not a 1% tax.
Poison.
It's 1% more than it was. So actually, it's a 10% increase. So the media is actually misrepresenting how much of an
it's
increase
also
it is.
twice because it's on the employer and the employee.
Yes.
So, anyway.
So, and it's for this crap.
Yeah, thank you, Conservative MPs. Very conservative. Let's go to the next one. 'cause
Email
it's the
your
worst.
Conservative MP.
There's-
Email them.
The NHS is also just lying about the law, it seems. Here, the NHS is telling confused young men that they can go into women's toilets, changing rooms, and safe spaces.
Brilliant.
If anyone objects, report them to the police.
Yep.
This was just not true. They say in here, the NHS, the Equality Act 2010 is a law which says everyone has the right to be treated fairly, equally, and to be respected.
Got to repeal that.
Your preferred name and pronoun should be used and respected. I found no evidence that that's law.
Should? Says who?
Like, it says in the Equality Act that you must treat people with different gender identities equal under the law, but the idea that you can enforce your pronouns regardless of what they are.
No.
No, so it's just a legal lie. You can use changing rooms and toilets which match your gender identity. The Conservative Party's position on this, as Liz Truss has demonstrated, and the government's position is no, that's not law either. It's illegal for people to call you offensive names/words.
So if I call someone a dunce, that could be offensive. Is that illegal?
Only if you call them a trans dunce.
Right, okay. I won't use the word trans dunce.
Yeah, but I love that. It's great. If your rights are ignored because of your gender identity, this could be a hate crime or incident. You can report the hate crime at such and such. Thank you, NHS.
I wonder how many hate incidents I've got.
Yeah, if you're wondering where all this nonsense comes from, if we go to the next link on here, you have LGBT Stokes NHS, who are reducing the Rainbow Guide. So you can go read that full thing in your own time.
Expressly political.
There were tons of these, and I say were because if we go to the next one here, we have the Rainbow Guide, but then so that's the full PDF, and we go to the next one. The website with them all on is just gone.
Good.
After people started noticing they were producing just factually false information, legally false information, or just producing nonsense. Just
Again,
disappeared.
Your tax money at work.
Don't know what that's about, but it is real. Like if we go to the next one here, you can see the link there for the website is in their bio, so enjoy that. But it's gone. Sure, it'll be back. Don't worry. So if we carry on, there's more
I
of
love that
this.
they're literally NPCs in the background, though.
I know.
Like smiling, pre-programmed NPCs who've got not an original thought between them.
There's this new government style of humans, which
Yes, I mean, they look creepy as well. The little black eyes and big creepy smile. It's like, okay, that's a human, honest. Christ on a bike.
also, why is the trans person there got a beard? Moving on. I don't want to. There's more of this. So moving on. Let's go to the next one. We the People NHS website. Morning, our NHS people. Are you ready for day 2 of #Pride in the NHS week? When's Pride Month again?
I don't know, but every single person involved in this should be fired.
It's just Pride Week in the NHS in a month that has nothing to do with Pride, but just Pride never ends. Seriously.
Why are they promoting ideology using my money?
And I love how you can see the flag there. It's the pincer movement.
Yeah, yeah.
It's coming from both sides. Again, racial pride.
The trans canne flag.
Conservatives, if anyone's listening, go to the Parliament and ask the Labour Party what they think of segregating black and brown people in their flags. See what their response is, and then get them to defend it in public.
I'm pro. That's right, I'm Labour.
Yeah. Anyway, so if we carry on, we have a conservative propaganda in response to all this. This is infuriating.
I hate this so much.
So it's a Conservative Party account, verified checkmark. Alert: Labour has no plan on social care and voted against our plan to fund it.
That's right.
So
We're
the Conservatives.
more socialist than Labour.
So the Conservatives are like, yeah, we should raise taxes on people so that we can fund wokeism with the NHS. Could make some cuts. No. We're Conservatives. We don't make cuts to wokeism. We'd never do that. Because we're Labour. Literally, they are proposing that, yes, we're more Labour than Labour.
I love the way that they're positioning Keir Starmer as the sensible moderate here.
It's such a self-dunk. I don't know how they don't see it.
We're going to outflank Labour from the left. Why?
What's wrong with you? Anyway, so let's go to the next one here. Just the meme. Why are you Labour? Every time. Why are you Labour? It's just they don't get it. And then the last,
no answer. There'll never be an answer.
No. And then the last one here is just something I found particularly interesting. A Tory MP has said he goes home and cries to his partner and does not know what a Tory is anymore. Because
Great, he can give me an email.
Yeah.
Send me an email.
Whoever the hell you
Contact
are.
at lotuseater.com. I'll talk to you personally and explain what a Tory is supposed to be and what they're not now.
'Cause
I'll talk to you personally. I'll take time out of my goddamn day for free.
There was a group, I think, of like 6 Tory
God.
MPs who ended up voting against this because the whips did their thing. The whips did their thing,
Yep.
so it's like there's 50 odd who are usually normal, but they're like, no, you will vote for this or you will
Goes
get punished.
home and cries.
Yes, I know.
Cries. Weep. I don't know what a conservative is. I know. I know you don't.
Because they're looking at their own party, and I think they have a similar situation to us, where they're just like, what the hell is going on?
Yes.
Like, what the hell happened to this place? We
Well-
voted based. What is this?
And he got taken over by Jeremy Corbyn somehow.
Yeah. I mean, it really is unbelievable.
Goes home and cries.
Hmm.
Adult members of parliament who are conservatives crying because they don't know what a Tory is. Welcome to Britain in 2021.
But there are a few of these kind of conservatives that I am seeing around. They do exist out in the
Oh,
wilderness.
weeping conservatives. Yeah.
Well, no, not weeping, but I mean like Desmond Swade or Peter
No, I think we
Stone.
should call them the weeping conservatives.
because they're not.
No,
No.
but that actually has a really good ring to it.
Yeah, but they're also not. Like, they're just the kind of people who are just utterly depressed.
Yeah.
In a sense of just being like, what the hell
No, but
is
that's,
wrong with
that's
this
exactly what
place?
I'm saying. The weeping conservatives who are just the ones that like don't know what
Weeping makes them
conservatives
sound
are.
weak. They're not weeping about
They
the
are
thing.
weak. Look at them.
No, they're literally voting against the bill.
Big deal.
Like, they're the ones trying to do
they
the
should
work
be
here.
seceding from the party.
And go where?
Wherever.
There is
Found
nowhere
a new
to go.
party. They should be chaining themselves, protesting. They should be doing something other than going, yeah, okay, we'll carry on.
Yeah, I do like that they're going out and giving complaints, but they
God,
should do more. I really
yeah,
do.
like that's enough.
Well, what can they do? That's the thing. I've got sympathy
Secede from the
them.
party. Leave it. Resign in protest, in disgrace, because they did nothing up until this point. You know, throw eggs at Boris across the parliament. I don't know.
Go
you
into
know,
the parliament. No,
Listen,
I'm not going to make that
piss
joke.
off, you communists. You know, whatever you have to do. Like, stop crying to your parliament. I don't know what a conservative is anymore. Man up.
But it is utterly pathetic, and I wish the Conservatives would just do their fucking job, for Christ's sake. Like, Jim Hacker looks more competent than these people.
Yeah.
If you enjoyed that segment from the podcast The Lotus Eaters, you can go to prelotuseaters.com and get access to all our premium content.
Things like our book club, where we examine classics like Aldous Huxley's Brave New World and examine the themes that underpin it, and how we're getting worryingly close to that, or modern books like Mark Sidwell's The Long March, which is how exactly we ended up in the current cultural situation we're in and what conservatives can do about it. Or you can check out the other series we have, such as our Contemplation series, where Hugo and Josh decided to, in the latest one, have a look at an examination on the ways that other elections have been rigged for no reason at all. Or you can check out our Epoch series, which is one of my personal favorites, because this is where I get to talk about history. And I love talking about just random things from history. And one of the great things we can do with this series is talk about those things that aren't so often discussed. So, I mean, you can talk about Xerxes' army, the vast army that invaded Greece during the Greco-Persian Wars. Or we can go through things like Herodotus' view on the Scythians. Who are they? You probably don't know, but they used to be quite an important people a long time ago, and they're very, very interesting. We've got some really good reports about them. Or we've got premium podcasts, which is things we generally don't want to put outside of the paywall because we might get in trouble for them, such as the list of things that Alex Jones was right about. Or we do just very interesting discussions because there are things that we do lots of work on. Another one is that I'm particularly proud of is where Christopher Hitchens, the famous new atheist, would have fallen during the modern culture wars, because he probably wouldn't have been very woke. But we also have lots of interviews and articles and other things on the website that you can sign up to enjoy, and we're really proud of them.
So So if any of that sounds good to you, go over to lotuses.com and sign up for as little as £5 a month to support us, keep the show going, and also to get access to all the content. Thank you and goodbye.